Good morning. I was just sitting here thinking about my reset protocol, and I'm not sure if anyone else has one. But you know those times where you're just like not feeling good, you're not in a good headspace, your body's sore, you're hungry, life just seems a little bit crazy, and you just like don't know what to do with yourself. Like, do you have a routine or like some sort of practice that you were like, okay, this is the time to do this set of things to help myself just like be at ease a little bit in this time of like intense discomfort? Before having a baby, my routine used to be like a little bit longer and a little bit more in depth. But this morning I was like, I've been saying for the last couple days that like I'm just feeling some stuff, and I've been really struggling to use my practices to get myself feeling just a little bit more at ease. So this morning I snuck out of bed a little bit early, and the first thing my body said was like, girl, you need to stretch, you need to do yoga. It's been a really long time. So I set up my yoga mat, and I intentionally placed, a nice fuzzy blanket, and I put on some gentle music, and I just moved my body a little bit, and that moved some energy around for sure. I was feeling quite sore, and one of the things I love so much about yoga is the intentionality that you can bring to it. Not that we always do. I also was saying how one of the things I like about going to a class is that it's almost like a game. Like it's almost like an event. Like, you know how you have like your pregame routines, like you're about to play a football game or a basketball game. Like you put your headphones on, like you listen to the same song, like you say your affirmations, like you get your breathing right, like you get yourself in the zone to do the thing that you're going to do. And your body recognizes, okay, like we are getting ready, we are going to do this next thing. And so one of the cool things that I like about going to a yoga class is I go and I put my mat down in the same way, and I take my yoga blocks and I put them in the same spot, and I roll up my towel and I put it on my forehead, and then when I'm early, like I'll sit and do a little breath work, and then once the teacher comes in, then I lay down. And like that's like my pregame routine. And so, the intentionality behind yoga is something that I remembered today. I was like, right, I love this. It's funny when you stop doing the things that you love and bring you like joy, happiness, and connection. When you get back to them, you're like, whoa, it's like consciousness. It's like you remember. You're like, whoa, right? This is what I am. This is who I am. This is my purpose. This is why I'm here. And so yeah, this reset protocol that I like to do typically involves some movement and some meditation. So I like lay down with a lot of laying down on the ground, to be honest. I find that to be one of the most grounding things that you can do for yourself, is just literally lay on the ground. I had a blanket today. I was supporting my upper back on a bolster. I wanted to like open my heart and lift my arms above my head, and that helps stretch out like the shoulders and the upper back, which helps with breathing, number one. And so that felt really nice. The second piece is going for a walk in nature. Sadie came to visit me as I was starting yoga, and she was that reminder of like, can we go outside, please? And I'm doing this quickly, so sorry, Sadie. But yeah, going outside in nature, going for a walk, that also super grounding, right? Getting to see the trees and the leaves, and just they've shown it time and time again in various studies that being outside, especially in nature, it like reduces blood pressure, and it's very stress relieving. There's like forest therapy. Did anyone know that? You can be a forest therapy guide. You can like guide people in the forest to like hug trees and look at the beauty that's around them. So cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk, and that usually helps like I say clear my head, but I find with walks it like makes my mind just go. And sometimes I need that. Sometimes I need to just kind of let my mind do its thing and like have these conversations, and maybe that's part of like the channeling. I'm still confused about that term and like how I'm really, it's like, no angel, no nothing has been like, okay, Jess, this is exactly how you channel. This is how it comes through. This is what you need to do. But one of the ways that and I say information gather, or, clear my head, but process information, is through walks. So we'll be doing that. The next step is water. I love a bath, and I don't have a lot of baths these days. But like soaking in a warm tub, oh, it is like the most revitalizing thing to me. I have a lot of water energy. So I think that's part of it. I think I need a lot of like water therapy in my life, essentially. But I'm probably gonna have a warm bath. A warm shower when I get back. And then we'll see if there's you know what, here, I was gonna say journaling is another practice that I typically like to do, but this is essentially my journal right now. So there we go. So in conclusion, my reset protocol for feeling like a bag of poop is journaling, going for a walk, taking a nice bath, and like meditation, yoga, breath work. Oh, I did breath of fire today. Yeah, I was like, I need something that's like fire element. So I did breath of fire. So yeah, that's mine. I'm already feeling a little bit better. Also, just like allowing the energy to shift. Like, one of the things I've realized is like the moon switches signs every like 2.5 days. And so, because of that, that's the fastest moving energy, right? And so the moon is like, our emotionality, and because it's moving so fast, like things can shift. Like, when you're like, oh my gosh, like I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. It's like, maybe the moon shift signs, and like maybe it was like maybe it was in Capricorn and now it's in Aquarius, and now you're just like, and maybe it's like aspecting something that makes you feel just like a little bit uneasy. Like, it moves so quickly and aspects other things all of the time. So it's really subtle energy. That can make big shifts in how you're feeling. I haven't been tracking for a little while, but there's so many things that you can do when you track the moon. And I like to think about it more about like tracking you. It's like, what's activated, what's inactive. Like, are you feeling like, I have it somewhere. Maybe I'll bring it out. It was really interesting. It was a wheel, it was a chart. And there was the moon zones, and there was like different gosh, it's so complicated. It's not complicated. There's just a lot of pieces to it, and I don't have all the information, so forgive me. But there's like medical astrology, number one. So like different planets correspond with different areas of the body. Take that as what you will. You can, it's just like, it's just like eating yellow foods to help, like, and I'm going to say activate the solar plexus, or wearing red when you want to be connected to your root chakra. So just like different elements connecting, different elements of things connecting with different elements of things. And so, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So there's like these moon zones, right? And so there's, you know, there's the jaw, there's the forehead, the temples, there's the back of the neck, there's the breast, there's the, and this was specifically for women, there was the, you know, the vagina and the clitoris, and the other, and there's some other areas of the body. So there's these moon zones, and it kind of explains when these areas are activated, what you can expect. And so, for example, let's use the clitoris. When that zone is activated, there's like a lot more joy, a lot more play. It's not a good time to make really long-term decisions, because you're just like, you know, it's more of like a happy, playful, joyous energy. There's the, and I'm gonna get this wrong, but let's just say the forehead, and let's just say that things may feel a little bit, and I'll use the same example. It's like, it'll be like, don't do your taxes, don't worry about money matters when this zone is activated, because it's just not going to be your strong point. And so what it recommends you to do is use this chart and start filling out when you're feeling certain things, or when they're starting to be activated, and like your moods and how you are. You place the dates, you say what moon cycle is activated. And the cool thing is, the idea is that even though it's changing every 2.5 days, those pieces are going to be activated at the same time in your body every month. So as you track month after month after month, and you're like, oh, at the new moon, regardless of, it's going to be influenced by this, it's going to be influenced by what sign the new moon is in, but that area, like in terms of like an energetic lens, like the energetic lens of Pisces, a water sign, versus like Leo, a fire sign. It's like the lens in which you're looking through is going to be a little bit different, but what that's activating in your body, like if that's activating the temples versus the clitoris, you're going to start to realize month after month after month that that's a pattern. So during those 2.5 days around the new moon, this area is going to be activated. So like you learn to never do your taxes. You learn to never, you're like, oh, I don't make my best financial decisions. But in 8 days, my whatever zone is active, and that's when I make really good decisions. Or in 12 days from now, if I can, I'm going to plan to do public speaking, or I'm going to do a whole host of videos. Like you can plan, because that's that area where like I'm sure you've noticed with me, it's like some days I'm just, like my voice projects and I'm so confident in the words that I'm saying, and then some days I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like really confused. I don't know what's going on. And so again, this is the cool thing about this project, is that it's like research for future me, because I get to then look back on what I've noticed too. What I wear corresponds to like the different zones a lot of the time, sometimes. So it's like research about yourself, and you have these different elements of yourself that come out, and you are those things. But again, like what I love about the astrological lens is that the energy shifts, and so you are all of the energies, but it's like what's prominent right now, what energies are causing tension in your body, what energies are causing flow in your body, and then what areas are being activated. And then I say this, especially for women who are menstruating specifically. I don't have a cycle right now, so like I I feel less connected to the moon, and I've stated this before. When I got pregnant, I was like, what is going on with my relationship with me and the moon? It was a huge shift, and one that I was actually not prepared for. I was really not prepared for it, and I still struggle to connect with the moon energy because I don't have a cycle. So one of the cool things about being a woman and is that we have this I'm going to say this 28-day cycle. Obviously it's different for people depending on what's going on in your life, but we have a moon cycle within us and outside of us. And so we can connect with that. And again, once we start to like hone in and we figure out what parts of us are activated it's every 2.5 days. It's a lot of work. Like it's a lot of work, and it takes a really long time because one month you're like, oh yeah, this is feeling like this, and then the next month you're like, oh, actually maybe it's something else. But again, we have to play with the influences of the different signs and the different houses. Like there's so many intricacies. Like in theory, it's like your September 2024 should be a lot more similar to like your September 2025, because the moon's going to be in those same signs. But that's a long time to have to track. But imagine all that information. Like imagine if you tracked that for a year. Jess, I'm speaking to you, girl. If you track that properly for a year, I think I did it for like 3 months, and then I stopped. It'll come back. It always does. It always cycles back. But a year of tracking that, of all that data, right? And then you can really start to learn about yourself, and it's like you then know, it's like, oh, I'm going to be really not so great at communication over these next 2.5 days. It's like, get your communication done or plan to do it after. Like you can help plan your life a little bit more, barring unforeseen circumstances, and also noting for the fact that life does have to go on. You can be like hard pressed by it, like you have to allow life to seep in. But I think that having a foundation of knowing that things are the way they also help, like when things don't feel good. Like it helps you come back to neutrality, I think, right? And it's not, I'm just reminded of the lovely person who was commenting about, not really liking astrology. And one of the things that they don't like is that people blame astrology for the way that they are feeling. And yes, I think that there's a line where it can be easy to be like, oh, my this is in this, or this is aspecting this. So it's like, I'm feeling bad. But on the other hand, I kind of look at it like, okay, I've done yoga, I've meditated, I've gone for a walk, I've gone for a bath, I've smiled, I've painted, I've done all of these things. And I'm still just feeling kind of blah, but like I've taken care of myself. I made myself a good meal. I called my mom. Like I did all of these things, but I'm still feeling kind of blah. And the nice thing about the astrology is that you can be like, this is happening. There's just like a lot of tension. We're like in a void of court. Like we're like, you can just, it's nice to be like, I've done all the things that I can to take care of myself, and I'm just kind of feeling blah. And seeing things through the lens of astrology is a really nice way to be like, this is all just happening in the stars, and I'm just this sweet little earthling that's just doing the best they can day after day. And it's like you can find some sense of relief in that, even though things feel a little sticky still. I don't think it's about blaming personally. I just think it's about allowing it to be, and also just acknowledging that it is. And with that, I'm gonna head for a walk. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.